Right off the bat, I do have to say that what you get for 45 euros is insane. The SPC Gear Gem Plus is a lightweight symmetrical gaming mouse. Let's go and take a closer look. There are absolutely no issues with the build quality, as there is no flex, no creaking and no rattle whatsoever. The coating on the top of the mouse is somewhat rubbery. I would like it to be a little bit more grippy, and it does attract some fingerprints. The sides then again remind me quite a bit of the Burst Pro. They are textured, but it's just plastic. It's definitely not the best or the grippiest coating I've tried, but because of the nice curves on the sides, it's still easy to lift the mouse. The shape actually reminds you quite a bit of the Superlight when you look at it from the side, but when you look at it from the top or the bottom view, you can see that there is way more curvature on the sides of the Gem Plus. The hump is also more centrally located, and it's slightly lower profile as well. You can clearly feel the difference when you hold these two mice, so the Superlight gives you much more palm contact because of its higher profile and the hump, and then again with the Gem Plus it sort of feels like you have a set position for your fingers on the sides of the mouse. I would say it's very good for a claw grip, and it's not really that dependent on your hand size, but then again when we talk about fingertip grip, you definitely want to have large or medium sized hands. And lastly, for palm grip, I would recommend small hands. For me, this is definitely not the best claw grip mouse I've tried, but it's very comfortable for me and I perform very well in game. And for fingertip grip, I think there are better shapes in this price point, but those mice have some flaws. For example, the Razor Viper Mini has a high lift-off distance. It's an OEM shape, but I have nothing against them if the price is right. And the price is more than right with the Gem Plus. The weight is specified to be 67 grams without the cable. On my scale, the mouse seems to be 70 grams with the cable. But the mouse feels slightly back heavy to me though. The main mouse buttons of the Gem Plus have the KLG M8.0 switches. The click feeling is very tactile and snappy, and that extreme tactile bump that the KLG M8.0s often provide mean that these are not as easy to spam click as some other switches. There is a minimal amount of pre-travel, but quite a bit of post-travel. There is also quite a bit of button wobble when I really force it. When this happens, the buttons also creak quite a bit. At this point, this seems to be only affecting my unit though, because I know that Tech Power Up has a review sample and they have no issues with the wobble or creaking whatsoever. The good thing is that I don't feel this at all in real use or in games. In regards of the latency, the buttons feel very responsive and you can set the debounce setting to as low as 1 millisecond. The side buttons on the Gem Plus are tactile and crispy, and there is a minimal amount of pre and post travel. You can force some extra post travel out if you really use a lot of force when pressing the buttons. The side button placement is good for my hands as a grip style. The scroll wheel is very smooth and the steps are not very defined or tactile. It is nice for general use, but for gaming I would want something that has a little bit more tactile steps. And actuating the scroll wheel button requires sort of a medium amount of force. The sensor is the 3370 and it's a great choice for a wired and wireless mouse. The 1000Hz polling rate step is stable, there is barely any DPI deviation, and the lift-off distance is configurable in the drivers, and the lowest setting is under 1 dBd. The implementation is great, especially for a mouse that costs 45 euros. The Gem Plus is most certainly the best performing budget mouse I've tried. The cable is paracord-like, but it's definitely not the most flexible cable on the market, but it's more flexible than the VAX-C ones, for example. The cable is somewhat thick, it's easy to set up in a bungee, and it does not rack on your desk or your mousepad. As almost all the features, the cable is also very good for the price. One improvement I would like to see though is an upward angle in the stress relief. The feet on the mouse are PTFE, but as they are black, they are not 100% PTFE. There are 2 small feet at the back of the mouse and 1 large feet at the front. The glide is very good on any kind of smooth pad, but with rougher surfaces you can really feel that feedback. These are for sure not the best stock feet that I've tried, but for this price I would say that they are great. I mean, look at these features that you get for 45 euros. The very much loved KLG M8.0s, the 3370, PTFE feet, a decent cable, good shape. To be clear, the mouse does not have as high quality features as the XM1, for example, as the feet are not 100% PTFE, the cable is not top tier, and the coding and the clicks are not as good as on the XM1 are. The mouse is going to be available at least on Max Gaming, so that's one of the better ways to buy it, and SPC Gear has their own shop as well. Hopefully this will be available for you US consumers as well. I suspect the price will be around that 45 mark. Remember that good things happen to those who click the like button. For example, Methos had a 7-win streak and got a 37 bomb. So don't forget to click the like button, click the subscribe button, and that's pretty much it for me. See you in the next one.